AI to me is pretty terrifying. Sounds pretty dodgy in kind of a fun way. In the right hands, it can be a really fun and creative and rewarding thing to engage with. This is a sound I probably never would have used without it being handed to me, which is quite a fun thing. And in the wrong hands, it can replace creatives in ways that I think is quite dangerous. So yeah, we've ended up with a weird dark vibe, which totally unplanned. So today we are looking at some AI tools. I'm keen to use AI in my own musical practice in a fun and creative and inspiring way. And I want to show a couple of ways that maybe I would use some of the free AI tools available online. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up with AI. There's a lot of scary stuff coming up with AI. At the end of the day, it's all about how we use it, right? Sweet. Do you need me to start this? Yeah, sweet. So my name is Sweet Philly. I am Dublin-born, Edinburgh-based, queer music producer, DJ, music engineer, academic, composer. I wear a lot of hats. At the moment, my practice involves, mostly making club tunes. I work in a lot of different genre spaces, including techno and some trance and some hard drum. But the core of my whole practice is that I really want to make sure that everything I make is honest to my own queer identity as a non-binary bisexual person. I mean, at the end of the day, the purpose of this project was it seemed fun and I was interested in it, and it's quite an exciting field that I'm genuinely very skeptical of at the same time. I kind of wanted to research how to use AI and kind of ground my skeptical opinion in reality. And for this project, Youth Music reached out. I'm here, and I'm really keen to kind of showcase some new ways to make music. They're not much different from the old ways, but they're different and they're fun. So we'll give it a go. So here we are on the computer. I'm going to play around with some AI tools. I've picked out 3. I've got a 4th that I might use. 2 of them are from Google, and 1 is from a sound artist called Holly Herndon. I'm just going to talk through those really quickly. So first of all, we've got Google's instrument playground. You type in kind of an instrument and a description, and it'll give you this big loop that you can play around with, sequence, sample. I've also got another Google experiment, which is, I think it's just called Infinite Drum Machine. And it takes a lot of Foley samples and found sounds from the internet, puts them all together, creates really fun, unique, random drum patterns, and we can play around with that. And then Holly Plus here, which takes any audio file and turns it into Holly Herndon's voice. It never sounds good, but it always sounds fun, which is always fun to play with, and maybe we'll get some cool samples out of that. So this tool, you can press random a bunch of times. It'll give you some very rogue sounds, and we'll play some and see what we get. Alright, I think I can work with that. So part of the challenge, I guess, is then you've been given something a bit random, and how can you make it work for what you want to do? I don't have any goals or don't have any aims, but when I see that I could use the textures it gives me, I'll use them, and when it doesn't serve me, I won't. Oh, that's shit, that's class. Alright. Alright. Sounds pretty dodgy in kind of a fun way. So I'm going to record that, see if I can use it. Maybe just see if that works. There's a bit of difficulty with using the AI sounds, I think. They don't have any context. Like a lot of AI, image generation, audio, text, they lack context, right? And when we're making music, we're thinking about tempo, we're thinking about key, we're thinking about structure, we're thinking about form, all of these things. And when I'm using the tools that I'll be using today, they don't know what I'm thinking. they're also not thinking of what they did before or what they're going to do after, and there's no real way for them to do that. So I think the difficulty is going to be to get them all to work together. We got our loops back from Holly Plus. It spat out something, and we're going to see what it gave us. This is always quite creepy, so I guess the dark tone that we've accidentally found ourselves in isn't actually a bad thing. That's sick. I don't know if I would have done anything differently with how I approached it, or I would have done it totally differently. It's really hard to answer, and that's part of the fun of it. There's different ways to engage with it. There's other tools I could have used, but for the ones I use today, I'll have a lot of fun with them, and we'll take what they give me and we'll put them together. And then tomorrow I can do the same, get something totally different, and that's kind of the exciting part of it, you know? I mean, we're pretty much there in terms of arrangement and like setting. I think it needs to have a bit more like vibe and energy, but we're at a pretty like finished spot. I definitely would say creatives should engage with AI with a grain of salt. I'm not going to be the person to recommend everyone uses it, but I think we should all learn what the technology does, what it's capable of, how it will interact with our creative practice in the future, because it feels very inevitable at the moment. But I think the future will involve a mixture of both. A musician can make edits to their music in a way that an AI currently can't. And I think if we're working with these tools, we've got to use them as a creative tool and not as a creative replacement.